Think and Grow Rich is written by Napoleon Hill, world's leading success specialist who has interviewed more successful people in his life than we can imagine. He was first a journalist and then he became the personal development revolutionizer. The book was written at the commission of Andrew Carnegie and based on interviews of 500 of those who history now remembers as the greatest men of the early 20th century, including Theodore Roosevelt, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, Alexander Graham Bell, and the Wright Brothers. The book is first published in 1937 and it still does wonders for a lot of people. It has now sold more than 70 million copies, giving it a distinction of being the all-time bestseller in the personal success category. So, that was the introduction. Let's dive into it immediately. To truly distinguish yourself from the crowd, you need to want it more than others. Eric Thomas, a great motivational speaker, tells us a great story. It's about a man who wanted to know the secret of success and decided to find out from a guru. Now, this was a wise old sage who knew every secret of life. The man stammered, "O wise, all-knowing seer, I came to you in search of the secret of success." The guru didn't reply. He simply stood up and started walking down the hill. The man followed him. Suddenly they came upon a clearing. In the middle was a clear lake. The guru walked up to the edge of the lake and beckoned the man closer. With a gesture he asked him to kneel down. Unquestionably the man cooperated. Suddenly he felt himself seized by a strong hand at the back of his neck. His head was forced down under the water and he held there firmly. A minute passed and he was growing breathless. The grip on his neck hadn't weakened. Another minute crawled by and now he was getting anxious. His heart beat heavily in his chest. His throat tightened, his lungs screaming for air. He struggled to arise and the old man's grip became even stronger, pressed him further down into the water. Now the man was in panic. He thrashed around wildly, trying with all his energy to loosen the vice around his neck. Precious seconds passed and he felt his strength slowly ebbing away. He thought he was going to die. Finally the hand let go. Finally leaping on the shore, the man drew in his breath in heavy gasps. Delicious oxygen filled his lungs. Standing up, he faced the guru and screamed, "Are you crazy? You could have killed me." He said, "You wanted to know the secret of success? Here it is. You need to want the success as badly as you want to breathe. When you want success that badly, you will have it. That's the secret of success." And without another word, the guru left. Just left. So, rule number 1 is have a burning desire. In a world like this, you can't be great in everything. There are too many things that you must take care of then. The trick is to put all your eggs in one basket. Then watch the basket. As I've read in multiple books, you need to be the best in the world or at least so good they can't ignore you to flourish in our market. You can only be very good at something if you focus on one thing, just one thing. You can put a lot of hours in this subject then, which makes you an expert in the long run. And this is what you want. You need to become an expert in your chosen field. General knowledge itself is useless in accumulating wealth. You must have specific knowledge and skills. For example, how to execute a heart surgery, build a company, or even paint houses. This is required to add value and be paid for it. While this is a commonly misunderstood principle, it should be evident to anyone that general education does not correlate with wealth. Instead, specific knowledge applied to specific tasks is what actually leads to money. People will only pay you if you can offer them something that a small number of people can offer them. And the number 1 differentiator is quality. So rule number 2 is make sure you have specialized knowledge. It's not about what you know in life, but about who you know in life. Because people can help you with everything. You can know everything in life and there's simply too much to know. But if you have for every subject a person where you can faithfully rely on, that's game over, my friend. You win all the time. People can help you by opening doors that you can't get open by yourself. The only thing that is left for you is walking through the door. If people are so important, then perhaps it's useful to get your own team of reliable sources. Napoleon Hill calls this a mastermind group. In this group of people there can be a lot of different types. This is actually very handy because you can tackle problems with different kind of perspective. But for your mastermind group, you need to seek out the best of the best people you know. This can be friends, but also specialized people who you approach. If you pack your story right and you're comfortable with socializing, this is not a bad idea. But if you haven't the ability to do this and you don't know the people, don't be sad. There is another way. You can always use the successful people that are recorded, filmed, or have written great books. It also doesn't matter if they are dead or alive. If there is enough material available, you are capable of knowing the person. If you put hours upon hours in doing this, you can put them in your mastermind group. Then when you need to decide something important or simply need their way of thinking, you just ask the question to them. Think of the solution they will give you, so you are really asking yourself, what should they do in this case? I'm absolutely sure that it will help you a great deal. What also must be remembered here is that you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. If you are more listening to the recordings of Bill Gates, Steve Jobs or Warren Buffett, for example, than to your messed up parents, you can change the course of your life. Not saying that your parents are messed up or something, but you know what I mean. You will become the average of the people that you are around. Choose wisely who these will be. So, rule number 3 is create a mastermind group. Procrastination or lack of decision is the number 1 ingredient for failure. It will block you from doing the work, doing the right things. While this is just a feeling, procrastination is just a feeling that you don't want to do what is in front of you. The reason why you feel this, and also why we are most of the time listening to this feeling, is because it is painful. Doing the work is painful. At least we think it is. This thought comes from our fear of pain, and our brain wants to protect us from this pain. If we just would stop thinking and start doing, we see that it isn't painful. In most cases, it is even very satisfying. The opposite is also true. One of the common attributes of highly successful people is the ability to reach decisions quickly and to change them slowly. In order to be successful, you need to conquer procrastination. One of the things that will improve your decision making is to have very definite objectives. Also, when you make a decision, take no one into your confidence except members of your mastermind group. And be sure to select these members well. Too many people have been easily influenced, swayed, and sometimes ridiculed when making decisions. And remember this, if a decision is worth anything at all, it is worth sticking to it until it completely worked. So, rule number 4 is just decide. To summarize, have a burning desire, make sure you have specialized knowledge, create a mastermind group, and just decide. Thank you for watching, and as always, get your ass.